Hey Grand Adventurers, welcome back. I'm your host, Mark Guido. And these expensive battle-born lithium iron phosphate batteries should be powering my fifth wheel trailer. So why are they sitting here on the tailgate of my truck? And why are they heading for the hazardous waste landfill instead of going back to battle-born under warranty? We'll explain it all in full detail on this short episode of Grand Adventure. So stay tuned. Whether you need products for your RV, boat, trailer, vehicle, hunting and fishing, off-roading, and more, our video sponsor eTrailer has you covered. Best of all, you'll find over 100 US-based enthusiast customer service reps ready to help via phone, chat, or email, both before and after the sale. These folks have used themselves the products that you're shopping for, and you won't find a more knowledgeable team anywhere to help you with your outdoor project. Click the link in the video description or scan the code on your screen to shop etrailer.com with Grand Adventure. I had a battery bank comprised of 6 100 amp hour battle-born lithium iron phosphate batteries wired in parallel. These units were purchased in 2021 and 2022. Lithium iron phosphate batteries come with significant advantages over their lead-acid counterparts. And as avid RV boondockers, those advantages are important to us. We chose battle-born for their premium reputation and 10-year warranty, although that reputation came at a substantial price premium over their budget battery counterparts. Then our battery bank began giving me fits throughout our summer 2025 travel season. Even though we had a battery bank comprised of 600 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate battery, it was going dead at less than 200 amp hours of consumption. So once we got back in the States and I got in a stationary spot on hookups for about 10 days, I picked up the phone and contacted battle-born. They gave me a testing protocol which I completed as follows. Disconnect each battery individually from the battery bank. Let it sit at rest for about 30 minutes, then take a resting voltage with a multimeter. I then depleted each battery by connecting a load produced by a small ceramic desk heater plugged into a 750 watt power inverter to bring each battery's voltage down to about 12.4 volts. I then let it sit again at rest for about 30 minutes, plugged in a small battery charger with a lithium iron phosphate charging protocol that delivered about 17.5 amps to the batteries to charge them back up to full. When the battery charger shut down because the battery was full, I then disconnected the charger, let it sit at rest for about another 30 minutes, and then took a resting voltage again with the multimeter. Here are the results. Battery 1 showed an initial resting voltage of 13.47 volts. However, upon applying any load, the battery immediately began fluctuating at 8 to 9 volts. Thus, I could not draw the battery down. Battery 2 had an initial resting voltage of 13.47 volts. Resting voltage following depletion and recharge was 14.2 volts, so this was still a good battery. Battery 3 showed an initial resting voltage of 13.51 volts. However, it went into low voltage shutdown immediately upon applying any load. I was able to awaken the battery by following battle-born's jumpstart procedure, and it again read 13.51 volts. But again immediately went into low voltage shutdown upon applying any load. Battery 4 I had previously removed from the system after testing earlier in the summer when I started having issues. It showed no voltage whatsoever from the terminals and could not be awakened despite several attempts of the jumpstart procedure. Battery 5 indicated an initial resting voltage of 13.29 volts. Resting voltage following depletion and recharge was 13.58 volts. So this was a second good battery. Battery 6 showed an initial resting voltage of 14.01 volts. However, that voltage immediately dropped to 4 to 5 volts under load. Thus, I could not draw that battery down. So we had only 2 functional batteries out of 6, which explains why our battery bank was going dead after less than 200 amp hours of consumption. So after all of the requisite testing at Battle Born's direction, they approved an RMA for me to return the batteries to Battle Born under warranty. However, they expected me to prepay a $235 return shipping fee to be refunded only in the event that they determined that the issue was covered under warranty, which is of course a unilateral decision. I was still willing to go through with it until they then dropped it on me that they were also going to charge me a $300 labor fee if they determined that the issue was not covered by warranty. So I faced a potential expense of $535 that would result in absolutely zero benefit to me. And it would take 3 or 4 weeks to make the determination. In the alternative, I could have delivered in only 4 days another brand's brand new lithium iron phosphate batteries that would total nearly the same storage capacity as my existing battery bank for only $750 total. Battle Born expected me to assume what was an absolutely unacceptable risk. I paid a premium price of approximately $800 each for what were supposed to be premium batteries. But Battle Born's warranty procedures failed to adequately stand behind their products. Many folks in the RV community are probably already aware of Battle Born's questionable terminal design recently revealed by Will Prowse's expose video. Without cutting open our batteries, I have no way of knowing if that's the cause of our problems. However, our batteries do exhibit the discoloration of the bright red material surrounding the positive terminals that may be indicative of excessive heat. I just gave away my 2 working Battle Born batteries. The 4 faulty ones are in the truck waiting to go to the hazmat disposal site. And the 560 amp hours of new lithium iron phosphate batteries are installed, perfectly balanced, have Bluetooth capability down to the cell level, and cost only $750 total. They'll get their real test while we're in quartzite this month, but assuming all goes well, we'll probably add another 280 amp hours of those batteries before we leave Utah in spring. We're overwhelmingly disappointed in Battle Born's response to their battery failures, and in their business practices to support a customer who sank roughly $4,800 into their batteries. Never again. We hope that this short episode of Grand Adventure has assisted you in your RV battery purchasing decisions. If you like this episode, it is extremely important to us that you give us a huge thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comments section, where we love to hear from you each and every week, and where we look forward to receiving your feedback on your experience with Battle Born batteries. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. But if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer yourself, there is no better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a Grand Adventure, which we premiere right here each and every Wednesday. So until next Wednesday, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.